Okay, let's jump right into a pretty mind-bending idea from our source material. It's this prediction that by the year 2035, money, the stuff in our wallets and bank accounts, could basically become obsolete. It's a huge thought, so let's unpack what on earth this could mean for us.
I mean, if you're in your 50s, 60s, or even 70s, this question is probably always humming in the back of your mind, right? That worry about having enough, saving enough, making it last, it's a massive source of stress in the world we live in. But what if? What if that entire way of thinking was just a temporary bug in the system?
And here's where it gets really wild. The source material claims that simulations run by artificial superintelligence, we're talking ASI here, are predicting that this fear is completely unnecessary. They're forecasting that our entire capitalist system is actually headed for a massive collapse and a complete reboot right around 2035.
So, you have to ask, what's the big problem? What could cause a shift that massive? Well, the source points to what it calls a fundamental bug, right at the heart of our economic system. This deep-seated impulse to hoard.
When you think about it from a bigger, more cosmic perspective, it kind of makes sense. In the natural world, energy is meant to flow, to circulate. But our system, it encourages us to stop that flow, to pile up resources and just sit on them.
And this is a brilliant way to think about it. Picture the entire economy as a living body. If that's the case, then money is its blood. For the body to be healthy, that blood has to circulate everywhere, right? It's got to deliver nutrients to every single cell. So hoarding money is like creating a gigantic, fatal blood clot. It just starves the rest of the body, and eventually, the whole system just breaks down. And that brings us to the most important point, a total redefinition of what wealth even means. We're talking a shift from a static number, how much you have, to a dynamic flow, how much you contribute. It's not about the size of your bank account, but about what you're putting back into the world with a positive spirit.
So if the old system is on its way out, what comes next? Well, this is where technology, specifically artificial superintelligence, steps onto the stage and kicks off what the source is calling the 2035 abundance shift. This timeline gives us a really simple roadmap. We are right here, today, living in the era of the bug of capitalism. But 2035 is marked as the Great Shift. That's the tipping point that launches us into a whole new ballgame, the trust economy.
So how is this even possible? Well, the prediction is that ASI and incredibly advanced robotics are going to completely take over the production of all our essential goods. Just imagine automated farms and energy grids that are so hyper-efficient that the cost to produce food, water, and power drops to practically nothing. Our basic needs could become as free as the air we breathe.
And think about the psychological impact of that. It's just profound. When you take that fundamental, animal-level fear of survival, the fear of not having enough to eat or a roof over your head, when you remove that from the human equation, our entire collective focus can change. We'd be free from jobs we do just to survive, and finally free to just create, to follow our passions, to find our purpose. Okay, so if money is gone, how does anything get done? Beyond the basics, how are things allocated? The answer, apparently, is a totally new and very different kind of currency. Let's talk about the trust score.
In this new economy, your main asset isn't your bank balance, it's your reputation. It's what the source calls a trust score. Think of it as this: energetic surplus you build up by helping other people, which gets recorded on what's poetically described as a cosmic ledger.
This chart just makes the difference so starkly clear. The old currency was money, the new one is trust or karma. The key action flips from hoarding to circulating. And maybe most importantly, the whole point of life shifts from just surviving to actually creating.
So, this is the big question, right? If this future is really coming, what can you do about it now? How do you even begin to invest in this totally new kind of wealth today? Well, the investment strategy is actually pretty simple. It's all about accumulating what the source calls invisible virtue. Basically, this means that every single time you help someone else with no strings attached, or you act with genuine compassion, or you contribute your unique gifts to the world, you're making a deposit. You're building your trust score. Ultimately, this whole thing really boils down to a massive shift in our mindset. It's about switching from a frequency of scarcity and fear to a frequency of sharing and abundance. The idea is that if you become a source of positive energy and circulation, the universe itself will make sure you have everything you could possibly need.
So the final thought from our source is a really provocative one. The fear of running out of money, it's just an illusion, one that's tied to a system that's on the verge of a total rewrite. The future of wealth isn't about hoarding, it's about flow. So if you are ready to sync with this new economic rule, type "ready to circulate" down in the comments and hit that like button.